Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the scenes across the Dragon Ball franchise where characters let their anger run wild.
Kakarot!
What the heck's a Kakarot?
Number 20, Slug Smackdown. Just because this transformation makes no sense doesn't mean the fight that follows isn't fun to watch unfold. Beaten and broken by the ancient Namekian, something snaps inside Goku. Imbued in radiant light, consumed by rage, he unleashes his full power and becomes a not Super Saiyan? A Pseudo Saiyan? Well, whatever non-canonical nonsense it goes by, it is mightily pissed off, taking Lord Slug to task despite the immense size difference.
My word, he's mad! What got into him?
Number 19, Pudding Panic.
You there. Kindly hand over one of those pudding cups to Lord Beerus.
Never come between a god of destruction and his desserts, or there will be hell to pay. Case in point, where Beerus' beloved pudding cup is snatched away and eaten by Boo. Without that sugary goodness, the destroyer deity decides it's time to commit a little genocide, flexing his power level before taking everyone to task.
You made me mad!
This is where the comedy ends and the action commences, as the entire cast lash out to subdue him, all of whom are easily swatted away. Number 18, Broly goes berserk. Back in his barbarian days, Broly was nothing more than a vicious rage machine driven by a desire to pummel Kakarot into the concrete, and that was about it.
Kakarot! Broly, no, don't waste your time on them. Kakarot!
But that didn't mean his acts of violence weren't a spectacle to behold. After being confronted by the source of his trauma, Broly becomes unhinged, becoming a mass of muscle and fury known as the legendary Super Saiyan, and in doing so became one of the most iconic non-canon characters in Dragon Ball history. It's a true testament to his character that his sense of vengeance was so intense, he was willed into the mainstream continuity decades later. Number 17, taking Vegeta's balls. The Prince of Saiyans only had one mission while on Namek, and that was to gather all of the Dragon Balls and make himself immortal. All things considered, it was going rather swimmingly. That is until Gohan, Krillin, and their Dragon Ball locator came into the picture.
No! It was that boy! I sensed he was hiding something from me.
In one fell swoop, Vegeta's hard-earned scrounging was for naught, and he was essentially left ballless. His reaction is exactly what you'd imagine, homicidal urges on an unprecedented level as he instantly gives chase.
When I find you, I'll kill you! You're dead!
Number 16, the death of Android 8. There were a couple of times in the original Dragon Ball where Goku displayed genuine rage worthy of his Saiyan heritage, though chief among them has to be this iteration in the Path of Power movie. When Android 8 is killed by Commander Black, Goku snaps, the sight of his deceased mechanized friend causing him to unleash honestly one of the industry's greatest and most impactful Kamehamehas to date. Alternative universe or not, this moment is peak Dragon Ball. Guess avenging friendly robots runs in the family. Number 15, Bardock's Revenge. Finding out your boss is going to exterminate your entire race certainly can change one's perspective, and that's exactly what happens to Bardock thanks to acquiring psychic abilities. Infuriated and desperate to avert the future, the father of Goku wages a one-man war to take out Frieza, but first, he's gotta make it past a few of his elite guards, which he does in spectacular fashion.
That should do it.
Breaking necks, ripping through body parts, and blasting them to smithereens, Bardock may not be able to go golden, but he certainly knows how to throw a punch. Number 14, Kale cracks. That's the beauty of a multiverse. Even the most unlikely of characters can have that Saiyan dog in them. With the preparations for the Tournament of Power underway, Caulifla and Kaba try to get the timid Kale to unlock Super Saiyan. While insistent she's useless, her self-loathing actually serves as the trigger, and what a reveal it was. We'd all expected that Kale would have some manner of power hiding beneath the surface, but the fact she turned out to be Universe 6's version of the legendary Super Saiyan was the best kind of surprise. Number 13, Gohan's first steps. Long before he ever went golden, long before he was saving the world from androids, heck, long before he hit puberty, Gohan was already a beast in the making.
Power level 1,370! Impossible for a kid! And it's still going up!
After witnessing his father be brutalized by Raditz, something snaps inside Gohan, leading him to unleash a rage-filled headbutt so strong that it sends his murderous uncle reeling.
Leave my dad!
Now you have to wonder, was this a masterful piece of foreshadowing that would go on to indicate just how powerful Gohan's innate abilities really were, or was Raditz just so weak that he lost to a 4-year-old? Number 12, the bird. While it still doesn't measure up to the original, this particular reveal of Goku's Super Saiyan form was borderline biblical. Following Cooler's wanton destruction, which leads to the death of a random bird, Goku decides to finish things in the most grandiose manner possible, going golden and giving off some serious aura, before using his excess energy to bring the bird back from the dead so it can fly off into the sunset.
What? What's going on? He's different. He's changed.
That is somehow the most unnecessary, yet epic flex made by a Super Saiyan to date. He giveth life, and he can taketh it away.
Why don't you wake up? You're hurting people. What have they done to you? I can't let you take your unhappiness out on other people anymore.
Number 11, Piccolo's end. Nappa and Vegeta's arrival on Earth was instantly followed by a parade of death, including that of several notable Z-fighters. The most hard-hitting among them, obviously, was Piccolo. Taking the full brunt of a blast meant to kill Gohan, the Namekian spends his final moments confessing his affection to his would-be son about how their friendship has changed him into a better person.
You're like the son I never had. I'm proud of you.
No, please.
Goodbye, my friend.
It's a genuinely upsetting moment, one that prompts Gohan to once again tap into that well of unbridled rage as he lights up Nappa with all the ki he possesses. It may not end him then and there, but it was a valiant effort. Number 10, Papa Bear Vegeta. It certainly took a long while for Vegeta's fatherly instincts to kick in, but when they do, they go hard. Returning from the brink of death, Perfect Cell takes a moment to celebrate his resurrection by killing Trunks on the spot. For the first time, we got to see Vegeta wrestle with the consequences of his pride, and it is not a pretty sight. Overcome with grief, he goes all out, and while he doesn't even phase the ultimate creation, his outcry of anguish is one of his most defining moments. Number 9, time to pay. One does not tend to associate Goku with a desire to destroy. Defend, sure, but never to beat someone to death out of sheer maliciousness. But Black and Zamasu are the exception to the rule. Wanting to rub salt into the wounds, the traitor god reveals that in his timeline, after taking Goku's body for his own, Black went on to slaughter Chi-Chi and Goten on the spot. Goku does not take this well.
You monster! You'll pay for that! You'll pay for that!
Tapping into his bottomless reserves of Saiyan aggression before going buck wild with his fists like he's Vegeta on a vendetta.
And now it's time to pay!
It's borderline haunting. Number 8. I won't let you destroy my world. Brawling against a god is no easy feat, but that's never stopped Goku. Even with his newly acquired abilities as a Super Saiyan god, Goku is instantly pushed back against the seemingly overwhelming force of a deity. This all culminates in a final act of defiance, where he declares he won't let the Destroyer bring an end to his home.
I will not let you destroy my world!
The ensuing battle is a glorious display of Goku's righteous rage and unyielding spirits, pushing Beerus way out of his comfort zone and proving that he has the chops to even test the likes of the divine. Number 7, Broly goes berserk again! Bringing Broly into the fold of Dragon Ball canon was something we didn't know we needed, especially in regards to his reimagined character that provided far more depth and sympathy.
It's your father! He was killed by a stray energy blast!
Thankfully, his signature rage and outrageously muscular physique remained intact. If anything, his transformation into a Super Saiyan even surpasses that of the original. With Frieza purposefully killing his father to act as a trigger, Broly loses it, unleashing such a vast destructive energy that his ascension feels like the end of the world. The beatdown that follows is just the icing on top.
What are you doing? I am the mighty Lord Frieza!
Number 6. Gohan lets out the beast. From the heights of his battle against Perfect Cell back in his teenage years, it's fair to say Gohan had fallen off the pedestal when it came to the strongest Saiyan on the scene, practically outdone by nearly every member of the cast. That is, until he finally found redemption. As the world-ending android Cell Max is released on the world, it proceeds to body practically everyone who gets near it, including Piccolo. The sight of his other dad getting nearly killed by a recreation of his greatest enemy sends Gohan off the deep end. Going literal beast mode, Gohan displays the kind of mercilessness that we sorely missed.
Is that all you've got? Okay then, guess it's my turn.
Number 5. That's my Bulma. As any fan will tell you, there are two things that you don't mess with when it comes to the Prince of All Saiyans: his pride and his bride. Beerus messed with the latter and paid the price. After slapping down Bulma, her hubby goes on the warpath.
That's my...
Despite being nowhere near as strong as a destroyer god, Vegeta overcomes his limits and even surpasses Goku, all for the honor of his lovely lady. It's not only a brilliant display of Vegeta's strength, but one of the best examples of how far he's come since his days of being a Saiyan lackey with only murder on the mind. We can only imagine what happened behind closed doors that night. Number 4. Trunks' woe. The future that this version of Trunks inhabits is not a pleasant one. Constantly under siege from Android 18 and 17, Trunks' life is filled with nothing but death and misery. The pinnacle of which is undoubtedly when his mentor, Gohan, is struck down. The overwhelming sorrow turns out to be the fuel that Trunks needed to finally become a Super Saiyan, but comes at the heaviest price imaginable.
You're my best friend.
You were everything to me.
It's the rare time where the arrival of a brand new Super Saiyan doesn't instantly pave the way for a happy ending.
Gohan! Gohan!
But that's future Trunks' life in a nutshell. Sometimes you can't be a savior, only a survivor. Number 3. Surpassing God. Vegeta's battle against Top during the final stages of the Tournament of Power is exquisite in every sense of the word. The battle is brutal, unwavering, and pushes the prince to the limit, not only physically but also in his convictions.
I fight for Bulma, for Trunks and Bulma. I fight for the oath I made to a fellow warrior.
Faced with an enemy who disregarded his own moral code to become a god in training, Vegeta refuses to concede that which he holds dear: his pride, his bonds, and his warrior spirit.
Think your destroyer form will save you, that it gives you the strength you need? Well, none of I have anything to say about it!
It's in this ironclad belief that he unleashes the final explosion once more, only now he's able to withstand such a radical technique, likely due to his refusal to bend to an enemy whose mentality serves as his moral antithesis. He screamed his way to victory, and we are here for it. Number 2. Super Saiyan 2.
Please, drop your restraints. Protect the life I loved. You have the strength. My scanners sensed it. Just let it go.
You know it, we know it, everyone knows it. Gohan cutting loose in the wake of Cell's cruelty is one of the franchise's finest moments. Watching Android 16 crushed before his eyes serves as the catalyst for the pacifist Saiyan to decide that it's time to throw hands now and worry about morals later.
And I won't watch this anymore!
The explosion of power, the music, Gohan's enraged expression, all of it serves as the perfect introduction to a form far beyond that of the original Golden Warrior. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The first Super Saiyan. A moment that defined animation and pop culture forevermore, one born of absolute rage over a fallen friend.
Frieza, stop this!
Help me!
After surviving Goku's spirit bomb, Frieza decides to make an example of Krillin, causing him to explode before everyone's eyes. This, of course, acts as the trigger that leads to Goku manifesting the legend, his anger causing Namek to practically shake, all before his hair goes gold, completing his transformation into Super Saiyan. And the rest, as they say, is history. Which rampage do you think is DB's best? Let us know in those comments below.
All right then, we'll play by your rules, Cooler. Let's go!
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.